Hi guys, today I'm making one of my favourite meals, which is roast beef, lovely crunchy roast potatoes and homemade gravy. So let's get started. Okay, so what I do to make the roast potatoes is, first of all, I parboil them. I don't completely boil them. I boil them to a little bit soft. This makes them nice and crunchy when they're put into the oil with the roast beef. It'll be nice and crispy. So I'm going to parboil those first and then I'm going to drain them off. Okay, so I have a nice piece of topside beef to roast. It's a good size. It's got a nice bit of fat on it, so this will make a nice gravy. You want at least a little bit of fat on your beef. Because that enhances the flavour of your gravy. Now what I'm going to do to that is I'm first of all going to season it. So I'm going to get a little bit of salt and then just sprinkle that over. I'm also going to put on some cracked black pepper, sprinkle that as well. This will make the gravy taste really nice. And then I'm going to smear it with some mustard. Now I'm using Dijon mustard. If you like your gravy a little bit on the spicier side or the more tart side, then you can use English mustard, which is quite hot. Or you could use a grain mustard or a German mustard. It's entirely up to you, one of your favourite mustards. So I'm just going to pour that on the top. I'm going to rub that in. This is going to be yummy. Okay, I'm just going to wash my hands. Now inside the baking dish, I'm going to be putting in some vegetables. Now I like to do what the chefs call a mirepoix of vegetables, so I'm just using some carrot and some onion. Now this will make a bed for the beef to sit on. This will also enhance the flavour of the gravy, and it will stop the meat actually sitting in the dish, so all the nice juices can flow out of the meat. I'm just going to put that in there just randomly. I've made them all pretty much the same size, so it is a nice, fairly nice flat bed, and you can eat these roasted vegetables afterwards. Just put it in like that. Okay, so I've got the bed on there like that now, and then I'm just going to place the beef on the top. As you can see, that sits on there nicely. Now with the cooked potatoes, I've allowed those to drain. I drained them out and I've let them cool slightly. This is so that I can coat them in oil. I'm going to be putting some oil in the pan, but I don't want to overdo the oil, otherwise it's going to become a very oily, an oily dish. So I'm just going to pour some oil into the potatoes and then just coat those with the oil. Like I said, I don't want them all seeping with a big bath of oil inside the dish. And then you just take the potatoes and you place them around the outside. They're all nicely coated now because they've been parboiled. They're half cooked already. It's just basically getting the nice crunchy outer casing on them. Okay, so before putting it in the oven, you need to cover it in foil. This keeps in the heat and the moisture into the dish. This ensures that the outside of the meat doesn't cook before the inside. And then later on, we'll take the foil off halfway during cooking so the outside can brown. Then you cover it in foil. Make sure that you really crimp in the foil so that you're keeping in the heat. Now you need to put your beef into a hot oven. I've got mine on at 170, and you need to make sure that the shelves are in the middle of the oven to ensure an even cooking. Now once I open up the door of my oven, it sounds like a Boeing 747 jet, and it sounds like it's about to take off. So here's the noise. There we go, nice and noisy. Sorry about that. So you put the beef in the middle of the oven like so, and like I said, it's been preheated. Make sure your shelf is in the middle there. It shouldn't be too low down or too high up. That's nicely in the middle, and then we'll just let that cook for a while. Okay, so it's cooking nicely. As you can see, the potatoes are starting to brown, but what I want to do is I want to just move them around a bit so that they get evenly browned. And then I'm going to put the foil back on, but I'm just going to put the foil over the top of the meat. As you can see, that's all nicely cooking. Nice. So I'm just going to move that around. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in the oven now. I'm just going to put a bit of foil on the top like that. That allows the roast potatoes to get crunchy around the outside, but it doesn't overcook the beef. So I just leave that in the oven for a little while. Okay, so as you can see, the beef is nicely roasted now. It's got a nice colouring on the outside. You get some lovely crispy potatoes. Yum, yum, yum. Crispy. Yeah, gotta like that. Okay, so then you have to take out the meat and put it onto the board. Leave that for 20 minutes before you slice it up. Okay, so I've taken the roast potatoes out and also the carrots and the onion that was underneath the beef. And now you've got the pan with all the juices that have caramelized. Put in boiling water, and the chefs call this deglazing the pan. You put that all in there. I'm going to be using this water in the gravy, and then you just allow the boiling water to lift off all of the lovely juices and caramelized flavors from the bottom of the pan. You can leave that in there for a little while while it all softens up. Okay, so after the water's been in there for a little while and you stirred it around, you'll notice that all of the lovely flavors are now come together. So all of the juices, the sediment and all that sort of thing have now all come into the water. Now it's just a case of making the gravy. Okay, so what you need to do first of all is pour all of those juices into a pan, and then you have to heat that up until it's nice and bubbling hot. Okay, so that's nice and bubbling hot. I'm going to be adding in some beef gravy granules. Now, some people have Bisto, we have Quixo. If you don't want to do it this method, you could put in a beef stock cube and add some cornflour with some water, and that would make a perfect gravy also. But we're going to be using this. So you just pour it in and you keep stirring it, and when you have the desired thickness, you stop. I think that's still a bit runny. It needs to cook out just a little bit on the heat. So it depends on how you like it. I think that's still a little bit runny. I'm going to add a little bit more. That's it, and that's how we like it. It's not too thick, but it's not too thin either. Yum. Lovely gravy. Okay, so I've left that for 20 minutes, and that is nicely cooked now. Yum. If you like it a little bit more pink in the middle, then you just cook it for a little bit less. That looks really nice, yummy. Perfect, juicy beef. Okay, if you've got people in your house that, some people like it cooked with a little bit of pink still inside it, or just, well, you know, just cooked. And then you've got other people that like it really, really well done. What you can do is you can cut it in half, take one piece out for the people that like it not so well done, and then put the other piece in the oven and then leave it in there for some time longer. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Please have a great day and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.